Let's head overseas next to the war between Israel and Hamas. Israel's war cabinet says it will allow 2 fuel trucks into Gaza daily to allow the United Nations to continue humanitarian work. Palestinians will have to make do for one more day as the UN Palestinian Refugee Agency, UNRWA, says none of the fuel promised by Israel will make it into Gaza today. Crowds gather at one of the last bakeries operating in Gaza, desperate for bread, a staple food for Gazans in peacetime, but not anymore. Most bakeries have shut down because there's so little fuel, but this one in the southern city of Khan Yunis is still open. She says everything is lacking. The fuel, the bakeries are gone, and the electricity in the fire cookers. Torment. Our life is torment. We heard about 1948, and today we lived it.
Due to communications shutdown and lack of fuel, there will not be any cross-border operations at the Rafah crossing today, as it will be impossible to manage or coordinate humanitarian aid convoys.
The United Nations says no aid will enter Gaza today, and none entered yesterday amid a communications blackout in the Strip.
Humanitarian agencies and first responders have warned that blackouts jeopardize the safety of civilians and the provision of life-saving assistance.
Adding to the humanitarian challenge, the rainy season is beginning, and with it the possibility of flooding, raising fears the sewage system will become overwhelmed and disease will spread. Fuel is required to keep the sewage system working.
We are extremely concerned as well about the spread of diseases. Rainy season, winter arrived, overcrowding in the shelter, the UNRWA shelters, but all the makeshift shelters as well, lack of water and sanitation.
A security advisor to the Israeli PM announcing the war cabinet will allow 2 fuel trucks per day to enter the Strip to power the water and sewage systems. The advisor also announcing Israel will not employ a ceasefire or humanitarian pauses until the hostages held by Hamas are released. On Wednesday, the UN Security Council passed a resolution calling for extended humanitarian pauses. And in another sign, Israel will expand its ground operations, a top Israeli military official announcing today that they will hit Hamas targets wherever they are, including in the south. Just yesterday, the army dropped leaflets telling people in 4 southern towns to evacuate. Overnight, Israeli airstrikes in Khan Yunis added to the horrific tally of the dead in Gaza, a figure which now tops 12,000 since the Hamas attacks on Israel on October 7th. 4,700 of the dead are children, the numbers coming from the Hamas-controlled Gaza Health Ministry. Meantime, Israeli forces say they recovered the body of another hostage, 19-year-old Corporal Noah Marciano, at a site adjacent to the Al-Shifa hospital. A funeral for Marciano was held today, the military saying she was killed by Hamas, while Hamas released images of her dead body, saying she was killed in an Israeli airstrike. Marciano was found near where another hostage was found yesterday, 65-year-old Israeli cancer patient Yehudit Weiss. Weiss's family speaking about her today.
She was really warm, loving, hugging, kissing. She was everything to me, to her family, and to her grandchildren.